she is growing. And the systems were designed for that part of me to not grow. They were designed to keep me here, trapped in not a good enough and trying to be superior, feeling completely disconnected from every freaking human being on the planet because I'm so caught up in my own mind that I can't connect. And that authentic me is probably the part of me, this is the sickness of it. The authentic me is probably the part of me y'all like most. Like, my feet are hurting right now. If I kicked off my shoes, y'all be like, Rita just kicked off her shoes, right? Like, I actually don't because I like being in heels. I like feeling kind of tall. But, like, those are the parts of me, right? The witty, the humor, the authentic, the spontaneous. That actually is the part of me probably you all love most. Yet in my mind, I'm telling myself that that's most what I need to hide. And so the shift from that journey of survival that kept me trapped in those two thoughts and the expanding the authenticity of who I am in the world and speaking my voice, for that to happen, I had to change 4 fundamental beliefs. First, letting the mask go is a good thing. So, I remember, my brother, I think, if he's still online, he'll remember this. I remember being 7. My brother used to play a game with me where he'd give me a handshake, and then he'd make the bones squiggle to see how hard I can take the pain. And I would let this game go on for half an hour, and I would never crack. Because I believed, it wasn't true, but it's what I believed, that if I told him I was hurting, he was going to hurt me more. And I went through life like this. Like, if I show that I'm hurt, I'm going to be more vulnerable. So I'm not going to show that I'm hurt. And the first thing that had to go was the mask. And being willing to say, I'm hurt when I'm hurt. Second, the body is an access. So one day, so where all this suppressing and hiding landed me was at 21 with fevers twice a year, flu and sore throat 4 times a year, menstrual cramps that had me fainting, and permanent migraines. So at 21, doctors said to me, listen, it's stress. After exam, you have a headache that doesn't go away, you should just sleep for 5 days. They wanted me to take sedatives for 5 days at 20 to get my migraines to go away. That was their option. So I learned at 20 how to handle chronic pain. And by the time I come to the States at 25, I'm still handling it. One day, a friend of mine, Brian, we'd actually gone out on a date, comes back and says, hey, I learned this cool course this weekend. Come here, I want to try something on you. And he had just learned Reiki. And he just puts his hand at this distance from my chest. And part of that not letting people into my pain was also not letting them too close. And somehow this hand right in front of my heart felt really intimate. He's like, I'm not even touching it. I was like, I know, but I don't like your hand right there. Because it felt close. And he's like, come on, you've known me for a year. Chill, just give me 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. And in those 5 minutes, my headache loosened up just a little bit. And him being a badass music therapist, his next thing was, what are you going to do about that pain? Because, you're 20 and you don't need to be living in chronic pain. And that's how I met Yvonne. And what Yvonne taught me through Reiki and the practice of Reiki was that my body was a pathway. That I could talk with my body, that every pain in my body had a series of gifts. And that those gifts would get unlocked when I would uncover their secrets, when I would hold space for them, when I would create space. Willie had done it with me with yoga, and then Yvonne started doing it with Reiki, and I just started feeling all this pain coming up from my body. And it's been years of that. Third, mentors will come to show you the way.